Welcome to Collecting My Childhood. Today I will be showcasing Gashapon from Dragon Ball Super Collection Series 4. There are 6 to collect in total. I bought mine on eBay for about $40. They go for about 400 to 500 yen if you're fortunate enough to buy them in Japan from a Gashapon machine. I actually saw them at the Bandai Namco Cross store when I visited Japan back in April. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to get all 6 and not get doubles, since you're basically gambling when you play Gashapon machines. The first figure here is Goku's uniform, which include the weighted boots that he got from his training with Kami. When I was little, I used to dress up in a pair of winter boots and sweatpants in an attempt to look like Goku. Orange was my favorite color as a kid, and I think that it's in strong part because of the iconic gi that Goku gets during his training with Master Roshi. One of my favorite pieces of clothing I had growing up was an oversized orange hoodie that my parents bought me at the beach. I used to wear it all the time until I started learning about color psychology and how orange clothing can be seen as annoying or distracting. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but the capsule sort of resembled Dragon Balls. Up next is Piccolo's chair. I was impressed that this was included because it seems like a deep cut. I don't recall it being in that many episodes of Dragon Ball. The chair is very unique looking with all of the horned skulls and green upholstery. I feel like the plaque should say King Piccolo's throne instead. I've always liked armchairs. My grandpa used to fall asleep in a lazy boy reclining chair. As a kid, I used to recline in a lazy boy and take naps in my parents' basement during the summertime when it was too hot to go outside. The next figure is the third vehicle to be released through the Dragon Ball Super Gashapon collection. I love the designs of Akira Toriyama's spaceships and cars, and would love to see more from this series. I'm not sure if this would ever happen, but I'd really like to see some stuff from Dragon Ball GT like the Grand Tour spaceship. I like that the capsule ship is spherical. I was reading about deep-sea submersibles and underwater implosions recently, and learned that the sphere is the optimal shape for resisting high pressure, since the curved surface allows the pressure to be distributed evenly, which eliminates any weak points from being overly stressed. This figure is an article of clothing worn by Mr. Satan. The first appearance of the champion belt was in the Cell games, which also marked Mr. Satan's introduction. The belt originally depicted an eagle on the buckle, but was changed to a bat in the World Tournament saga. Akira Toriyama is known to have forgotten several characters and forms, most notably SSJ2, as the series was being developed. I'm not sure if changing the belt was intentional or just another detail that he overlooked, because I don't recall it being acknowledged. I used to think Mr. Satan was lame, but now find him to be an endearing comedic character. This is a figure of jewelry that was introduced in the Majin Buu saga, and was one of the coolest concepts from that arc for me. The Potara earrings are normally worn by the Kais, and are shown to be yellow and blue in Dragon Ball Z. Old Kai gives Goku his pair to use as a last gambit against Super Buu. The Potara earrings enable permanent fusion of the two wearers. It also served as a great plot element for Vegeta's character development. Vegeta hates fusion because it means depending on someone else's strength. He showed major growth by accepting to fuse with Goku, because he was finally willing to push down his pride and desire to be the strongest Saiyan in order to protect his family. I think Vegeta's design makes sense, but I'm still not a big fan of it. This last figure is another version of the Potara earrings from Dragon Ball Super. To be honest, I've never been able to get into Super. I'm glad that it exists for younger audience members and fans wanting a continuing story, but it's just not for me. I prefer Dragon Ball GT, even though it suffers from its own share of problems. This is the first figure of an item from Dragon Ball Super. I was kind of hoping that this series would just cover stuff from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. The Goku Black Saga seems to be one of the more well-regarded arcs from Super, from what I've read and seen clips of. These earrings hang higher than the ones from Z, being connected by one chain instead of 4. The color of the earrings seem to vary depending on which universe they're from. Thank you for watching.